In January 2021, stationary bike startup Peloton hit a staggering market valuation of $50 billion. With gyms closed worldwide during the COVID-19 pandemic, millions of affluent homebound consumers rushed to buy $2,500 connected exercise bikes and pay $40 a month for live streaming workout classes. Celebrities boasted about their Peloton streaks, instructors became millionaire superstars, and CEO John Foley declared that demand was so overwhelming that Peloton couldn't manufacture bikes fast enough. To meet infinite demand, Peloton spent nearly $1 billion building giant new factories and buying supply chain logistics companies. 18 months later, Peloton's stock had crashed by 98%. The company was losing hundreds of millions of dollars every quarter, halting bike production entirely, laying off thousands of workers, and fighting off bankruptcy. This is the story of Peloton, how a pandemic unicorn mistook a temporary lockdown surge for permanent human behavior. Peloton was founded in 2012 by former Barnes & Noble executive John Foley. Foley's vision was simple: bring boutique spin-class energy into wealthy living rooms by fusing a heavy stationary bike with a 22-inch iPad and charisma-filled fitness instructors. For years, Peloton grew steadily as a high-end luxury product. Then 2020 arrived. When lockdowns shuttered fitness centers overnight, Peloton experienced the greatest demand surge in modern retail history. Sales skyrocketed by 250%. Order backlogs stretched to 6 months. Wall Street investors bid Peloton's stock up from $19 per share to an astronomical peak of $171 per share. CEO John Foley believed the fitness industry had permanently changed. He claimed people would never return to public gyms. He was catastrophically wrong. In mid-2021, the cracks began to show. First came a tragic safety disaster. In May 2021, after reports of dozens of injuries and the tragic death of a 6-year-old child, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission forced Peloton to recall 125,000 treadmills. Peloton's initial response was defensive, alienating customers and safety regulators. Then came a bizarre pop culture curse. In December 2021, the premiere episode of HBO's Sex and the City reboot featured iconic character Mr. Big dying of a heart attack immediately after completing a 45-minute Peloton ride. Peloton's stock plunged 11% the next morning. While the PR disasters made headlines, a far deadlier threat was quietly unfolding. Vaccines were rolling out, gyms were reopening, and people were stepping outside. By early 2022, demand for Peloton bikes evaporated. Subscribers stopped tuning in. Second-hand Pelotons flooded eBay and Facebook Marketplace for pennies on the dollar. Worst of all, Peloton was trapped with billions of dollars worth of unsold inventory and massive under-construction factories it no longer needed. In February 2022, CEO John Foley was forced out. Peloton cut 2,800 jobs, scrapped its $400 million flagship factory in Ohio, and slashed prices. Its stock, which once traded at $171, plummeted to under $3 per share, erasing over $48 billion in shareholder wealth. Peloton was forced to sell its bikes through Amazon and Dick's Sporting Goods, the very traditional retailers it once claimed to make obsolete. Peloton was not a bad product. It was a temporary bubble. It stands as the ultimate cautionary tale of extrapolating the present into infinity. John Foley and his board mistook an unprecedented, once-in-a-century global lockdown for a permanent shift in human nature. They built a massive manufacturing empire for a world that ceased to exist the moment people could step back into the sun. $50 billion in value, 98% loss. One pandemic. It remains the most dramatic post-lockdown collapse in corporate history.